Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Charlotte. Thank you so much for being here with me again today. So there are a lot of fragrances that are hyped up on YouTube, hyped up in the fragrance community, and on my journey I've learned that I don't want to blind buy bottles as much, and so I blind buy samples, and so that's what I did. I blind bought some samples of very hyped fragrances that I would have previously perhaps blind bought full bottles of, and we're gonna sniff them blind, so without looking at the notes first, and I haven't smelled these yet, so you're going to see my live first impression, and then we'll go through the notes together and I'll see if I think it smells the way I thought it would smell, whether I think it's good, whether I think that I would be interested in buying a full bottle. So if you know any of these fragrances and you have experiences with them, definitely let me know down below and let us know. I encourage you to sample these fragrances as well. I will always try to link samples down below. I try to link samples whenever possible in general because I just prefer that you buy a sample first before blind buying a bottle so that you can make a fully informed decision on whether you enjoy the fragrance. But especially like for this video, it would be great if we could do this sampling together. So yeah, I will try to find wherever possible samples of the fragrances that I'm trying out on camera today. So the very first fragrance we have is by Maison Mataha Escapade Gourmande. And this is touted as being like a very like sweet vanillic gourmand fragrance. I think like a vanilla custard sort of fragrance. So let's try it out. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm going to be very honest with you. I was not really excited about this fragrance, and I guess I'm a little bit bored by vanilla fragrances by now, but there's something very angelic about it. Yes, it's gourmand, but there's something so cozy and cuddly about it. I really like this. I think Sniff with Steph has said that it smelled like a crème brûlée or like a flan. I do get that. But as if it were a perfume. So it's not, to me, it's not straight gourmand, which is so much better. It's as if it was like, it also, in the best way, reminds me of my grandmother. My grandmother did wear perfumes. A perfume or perfumes that make me very nostalgic and feels very cozy. But this reminds me of that. So it's not because it reminds me of an older vintage perfume. It's not that. But there's something very cozy and comforting about it. It's like a cozy, comforting, fluffy blanket of a gourmand vanilla. There has to be some musk in here as well too. Wow, I am so surprised. This is one of those that I was like, okay, I'll pick this up because I know it's hyped up. And even though I'm not particularly interested in it, let's do it for a video, like going through these hyped up fragrances because I know people are interested. They want to know if this is good or not. I am really impressed. I will have to obviously, try it out on skin and wear it, but this is unique to me. I don't have a vanilla fragrance like this. This is beautiful. Let's check out the notes. Wow. Okay, so it just has sugar cane, which I guess is that like burnt sugar on a flan or burnt sugar on a crème brûlée. Sugar cane, vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin, and musk. Okay, so I definitely get that musk. This is so beautiful to me. This is the kind of gourmand fragrance that I enjoy because it's not just an edible fragrance. There's something sensual and comforting about this at the same time. Like if there could be an everyday signature scent worthy vanilla, this might be it. So for example, to compare it with something like Vanilla 28, which is another, pillar vanilla fragrance, which could be a signature scent, but that one is a lot more strong in its floral notes, and there's something a little bit almost boozy smelling about it to me, and it's a little bit more perfumey and perhaps a little bit more young. This smells a little bit more mature in the best way to me. It's musky, it's sensual, but it definitely does have that rich gourmand, almost creamy vanillic quality to it. It definitely feels like there could be dairy, you know? So yeah, so I'd say Vanilla 28 is definitely more of like a burnt sugar, brown sugar sort of vibe. This is more of creamy vanillic, fluffy vanilla with some sugar. Wow, so fluffy. It is. It's fluffy like a cloud. Even when I first sprayed it, I was like, whew, it was like a cloud, but like a soft cloud, not an overwhelming or overpowering cloud, even though it does have presence. Wow, this is really beautiful. This is definitely something that I'm going to use up my sample, and like right away, I was not expecting this to go on the wish list, but this might be going on the wish list. And I'm very surprised. Sniff with Steph was right, because she raves about this fragrance. It's probably one of the top fragrances she raves about. And I was like, is it really, like, I love her, but I was like, is it really that special? I think it's really that special. So I just want to check out this perfume reminds me of, because sometimes there's fragrances that I have and then I can tell you if I think they smell the same. It says it reminds some people of Fire at Will by Jovoy, which is a fragrance I would love to try out. I have not smelled it, so I can't say, but a decent amount of people say it smells like that. Some people says it smells like Warm Vanilla Sugar by Bath & Body Works. I would highly disagree. Vanilla Musk by Nemat. That's also a very hyped, more affordable fragrance. I think comes in oil format that I've not smelled, that I will have to smell, especially since I think it's also kind of musky. Vanilla Bean, again, by Bath & Body Works. I don't think this could smell like any Bath & Body Works fragrance. I'm just honestly, because there's no alcohol scent to it. There's nothing cheap smelling about it. And I love Bath & Body Works, especially the lotions, but they do smell a little bit cheap, okay? They don't smell like this. They do have an alcohol undertone to them, which is fine, especially because you're not smelling them up close like this, but I'm smelling this up close like this. And it's just so much richer and denser than any Bath & Body Works fragrance without being an overpowering fragrance. It's still billowy and fluffy and comforting and soothing and sensual at the same time with that musk. This would definitely make that's why I could definitely see this making like a very effortless second skin signature sort of scent for someone who loves a more vanilla gourmand scent. Beautiful. I totally see too how this would obviously layer well with so many fragrances because it's not overly complex, but it's very present with that fluffy vanilla musk. This is beautiful, really beautiful. Let's see what else they have here. Lait de Vanille by Chabaud. I don't have Lait de Vanille, but I do have a decant of Lait Concentré. I thought that was the one that was being shown. It's not. So I don't know if it smells like Lait de Vanille, but I know Lait Concentré is a really beautiful, very lactonic milk scent. It doesn't smell like this though. It says it smells like Vanille by Molinard, which I don't have the Vanille by Molinard, but I have the Vanille Fruitée. And I can sort of sense, I think they have the same vanilla. I can sort of see the similarity of that vanilla, but I think I prefer this one. The Molinard one does have a little bit of an alcohol undertone to it. This one had like zero. Tihota, which is another one that I have not smelled, that I know I have to smell, that's very hyped up. And then what else do we have? Vanille Extrême by Comptoir Sud Pacifique. I would not say it smells the same. I like that one, but this one is more interesting to me. I'd say Vanille Extrême is a very lactonic, cozy, milky vanilla fragrance. But this one, I like the musk in it, the fluffiness, the sensuality in it. There's something sensual about it. And the other fragrances, I do not know, I don't think. Let's see if there's anything else. Vanilla Sky. I don't think it smells like Vanilla Sky. No. I kind of understand because it's a softer vanilla fragrance, but Vanilla Sky definitely has that cappuccino in it, which I don't get in here. And Vanilla Sky doesn't feel as sensual. There's something sensual in this fragrance. And then there's Fresh Cream Warm Cashmere. I have not smelled that. I've only smelled the Fresh Cream one, so who knows. Definitely does not smell like pink sugar, so I would say no to that one. But overall, like, for me, for my collection, and I think I have I haven't officially counted, but I'm pretty sure I have over 300 fragrances. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but, and so many samples and decants above that too. I haven't smelled anything quite like this. Really, really, really like this, and I'm very impressed and surprised by how much I like this. Like I said, I was not expecting that. Some of these I was really excited to try. That one, not so much, but there you go. That's changed for me. The next one we have here is one that I definitely have wanted to blind buy, especially, and maybe I would have, especially, I think I might have in the past, although now I'm like, no, not necessarily, because it's very expensive. It's by Le Labo, and their fragrances are extremely expensive, I find. So it's just not something I would do on a whim. This is another 13, and I'm just going to say, I'm only going to do a few, because see, like that fragrance, Escapade Gourmande, is definitely all around me right now. So it's going to be hard to differentiate sometimes, you know. Anyway, another 13. It's supposed to be a very simplistic second skin musk sort of fragrance, which I love. I love those kinds of fragrances. So this is the one that I was really excited about for sure. Oh yeah. I love that. It's funny because it is giving me a little bit of a molecular note that is similar as the molecular notes in The Ghost in the Shell by Etat. It doesn't smell the same, but there's something in it. There's a note in it that reminds me of the note in that one that makes it smell a little bit soapy in that one, but in here, it's nice. It might be the skin note that is, because there's a skin note in The Ghost in the Shell, and I love that fragrance. Now, another 13. Let's look at the notes. It's very nice, but I'm definitely right away, I'm like, I don't need that because I have similar enough fragrances in terms of second skin fragrances, but I understand the hype because I love these kinds of fragrances. It's a very expensive fragrance though, definitely for something that you might want to layer with, or you might have other fragrances that do that job for you, that second skin. So let's see what the notes are. So yeah, musky, amber, woody, floral. It does have a lot of other notes. It has some pear, some citruses, and apple in the opening. It has that beautiful ambrette or muskmallow in the mid with some moss, some jasmine, and amyl solicitate. And then it has some, of course, Cetalox, ISOE Super, all of that in the base. So very molecular and very second skin-like. Let me see what people compare it to. So for sure, yeah, I get the Not a Perfume references and Not a Perfume super dose for sure, because of that Cetalox and the Ambroxan and all that. There's also Arizona Bloom by Floral Street, which I have tried before a sample of. I wouldn't have thought of comparing them. I feel like that one is more woody and it has the coconut in it, if I remember correctly. But it does have a second skin sort of feeling to it as well. I'm really interested to see if anyone compares the Ghost in the Shell. I don't see anyone comparing it to that, of course. Glossier YOU, again, I get it sort of, but I have Glossier YOU. They're not quite the same. It's really that note that is standing out to me, and I think it's just standing out because I'm noticing it. And the only other fragrance that I noticed it very obviously in was the Ghost in the Shell. It's the first time that I smell this, and right away I'm like, oh, it's that note. So because of that, it doesn't feel the same as Glossier YOU, which definitely doesn't have that note in it, but definitely similar sort of fragrance, you know. And I think that for me, Glossier YOU definitely does the job, and so does the Ghost in the Shell, though the Ghost in the Shell definitely has that milky lactonic skin element. This is skin-like as well. And the Ghost in the Shell does have jasmine in it as well, I believe. I'm just trying to figure out what it is that smells the same. There's something that smells so similar. Let's see if the Ghost in the Shell compares it to another 13. No, but they both compare it to similar fragrances. Let's see. But interesting. Both similar fragrances though. So another 13 is nice. It's nice. It's a great second skin not a perfume sort of fragrance. I have a lot of those at this point in my collection, so this is not full bottle worthy for me at this point, unless I were like given it or gifted it or something. I would gladly take it, you know what I mean? I like it, but it's not necessary in my collection. So, you know, consider that for yourself as well if you have a lot of second skin scents and you might not need this one. But it's very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice for what it is. Let's move on. Let's move on to very hyped. It went, I think it's less talked about maybe the last month or two. That is Rosendo Mateu or Rosendo Mateu. Rosendo Mateu. Let's see.
Today we're going to be reviewing a fragrance by Rosendo Mateu and it's called Number 5.
Rosendo Mateu. Okay, Rosendo Mateu. I think that's how you pronounce it. So let's spray that. This is very hyped up on YouTube and all over, I think. Interesting. So I have like seen people's reactions and some people get burnt tires. I totally understand because that can be interpreted as burnt tires, absolutely. Burnt rubber. There's something really nice in it though. It's like a musky, ambery fragrance. There's something sensual about it. It's not really what I thought it was going to be though. This could absolutely just smell like burnt rubber or tires to someone not a safe blind buy whatsoever, I would say. So don't blind buy. There's still some sweetness in there though. It's like there's sweetness, there's some muskiness, there's some amberiness in there. There's something very sexy about it. The burnt rubbery tire thing is dissipating. Very interesting. So yeah, it looks like I'm getting a lot of that ambery muskiness. The vanilla is smelling sweet to me. I do get a warm spiciness to it as well. So the notes are spices and exotic floral notes. Carnation, lily of the valley, amber, vanilla, and musk. Very interesting. It's really nice because there's something that's very kind of strong and overpowering in the opening, but it quickly becomes a more sensual second skin scent without being like second skin, if that makes sense. Not like another 13 or even Escapade Gourmande. Like it's not like there's something in the opening that when people said burnt tires or something, I was like thinking of very harsh or strong openings like AOUD by Swiss Arabian or something. It's not like that though, because it quickly dries down into something that is a little bit more subdued and cozy and sensual and a little bit more transparent than I was expecting. It's nice. There's something a little animalic in it that makes me think it would be good tested on skin. This is very interesting though. Very nice. I'm going to have to experiment with this one a little bit more because very intriguing. Musky, ambery, vanilla. I wouldn't be able to tell you what the florals are. I know there's florals in it. And I get that subtly ambiguous spiciness, that warm spiciness. It smells kind of dark and sensual but without being a very heavy, dark fragrance, if that makes sense. Very interesting. I like that. I really like that. I don't know if it's full bottle worthy or not. Like I wanted to try it out for a few wear tests, but it's very interesting. I can kind of understand the hype because it doesn't smell exactly like anything I've smelled either before. Let's see what other people say it smells like. Of course, there'll be stuff I haven't smelled, like BABYCAT by Yves Saint Laurent. Another incredibly hyped up fragrance. So hyped up, in fact, that like it makes me not even want to try that one because it's so hyped up and it's hard to find and it's expensive. That combination just makes me go like, okay, next. Vana Gloria. I don't know that one. A Latafa perfume. Interesting. I would like to check that out. Gourmande Extrême by Les Fleurs du Golfe. I wanted to try that fragrance, so that's interesting. I have not smelled any of these. Oh, except here. Oh la la. No, I don't think it smells like oh la la at all. Some people say it smells like oh la la. Oh, interesting. 20 people say it smells like Oud Vanille by Mancera, which is not a bad comparison. I can see that comparison. It's not the same But see, I couldn't think of any fragrance that it reminded me of. But it can kind of remind me of Oud Vanille. It's true. Oud Vanille, though, has a lot more of a black pepper like spiciness to it that literally makes my nose run. This one did make my nose run a tiny bit though, you guys. So I guess there's some spiciness in there. And yeah, it's kind of interesting actually. It's not the same because the Oud Vanille by Mancera is definitely thicker, more woody and vanillic. This one has a more ethereal quality to it with the musky amberiness. But there's something in there that's similar. And I would say the burnt rubber or tires sort of vibe that some people get out of this, I don't think you get with the Oud Vanille. They're different, but there is something with the warm spiciness, with the vanilla and the darkness that make them smell a little bit similar. So I understand that comparison. Let's see if there's anything else that I've smelled or tried. I don't think I've smelled any of these other fragrances that are being shown. Yeah, no. Okay, so very interesting. I'm intrigued by this one. Yeah. Now, next is another Rosendo Mateu fragrance, and it is the number 6. And this was actually the one that I was more interested in. So it's not hyped up, this one. I mean, I've heard it being talked about once or twice, but it's definitely not hyped up. Not like number 5. But this was the one that, based on the notes, I was the most interested in. Even though now I forget what the notes are. So let's try it. Okay. Okay. Buttery, creamy, white florals. What does it remind me of? With some musky vanilla sandalwood, maybe? It's nice. It's nice, not particularly unique smelling, I will say. I don't think. Let's check out the notes. Yeah, okay. So, yes, I was right about that. So that buttery creaminess has jasmine sambac in the opening with exotic fruits, floral notes, coconut, and a green accord with some prominent sandalwood and spicy notes in the mid, white musk, vanilla, and amber. So yeah, creamy white florals, buttery. It's the sandalwood peeking through with some musky vanilla. This is really nice. I don't find it particularly unique. Not that you need something to be particularly unique, though I think when you have hundreds of fragrances and you're not trying to have 1,000 fragrances, which some people do have, you start being a little bit more selective, and that means not jumping on something even if it smells really good. It's really nice though. Let's see what people are reminded by. Oh, interesting. Jardin Exclusif by Mancera. I have that fragrance and I have to say I don't really see the similarities. Jardin Exclusif does have a musky vanilla sandalwood dry down, and it does have a very fruity opening, but it also has a lot of ambergris, which I detect in Jardin Exclusif by Mancera. That makes it a little bit more salty, and it definitely has a little bit more of a harsh quality to it. This one, I would say, is a little smoother. I really like Jardin Exclusif. It's not a diss to that Mancera fragrance, but it is a little bit harsher. And that one is a lot fruitier than this one, for sure. I guess I can tell what the similarities are, but I would never think of comparing them. I wouldn't use them in similar situations too. This one is a little bit denser of a fragrance to me than Jardin Exclusif. Jardin Exclusif is a little bit more of a zingy, summery fragrance to me. Not that you could not wear number 6 in the summer, but to me, number 6 is definitely more of like an all year round and cold weather appropriate fragrance. And that sandalwood is very dominant, more prominent than in Jardin Exclusif. What is it that does kind of smell similar though? There is something in it, which I guess is maybe something in the musky amberiness rings sort of similar. Anyway, let's see what else they have here. They have one by Micallef, which would be really interesting to smell then. Délice, which is actually a fragrance that I was keeping to smell on camera. But now I'm thinking, I haven't smelled it before, but now I feel like we have to smell it. 7 people say it smells like it. 9 people say it doesn't. So this is the first time that I smell Délice by Micallef. I was not planning on doing it, but I feel like we got to do it now, right? So let's try. No. A lot drier of a fragrance. The other one was a lot more creamy and buttery. I feel like it's woodier too, but in that dry kind of way. There's something a little bit more densely sweet in the Délice. Let's look at the notes of Délice. Okay. Fresh, spicy oud in Délice, which I think is the same kind of like oud from Oud Vanille. I get that sort of feeling from it too, which also has a very strong fresh spiciness in Oud Vanille. So I understand why all of these are being seen as sort of reminding or similar to each other. I understand. Although they are definitely in no way dupes or anything. Number 6 is definitely more feminine, I find, than Délice, and a lot creamier, you know? Interesting. But yeah, the Délice is very heavy on that oud, like that drier wood, almost like a medicinal oud with a lot of fresh spiciness. It does have vanilla there for sure, and it actually reminds me a little bit of Oud Vanille. I wonder if this one is reminding people of Oud Vanille, because no, it reminds people of another Mancera that I don't know, called Oud Lemon Mint. Interesting. Okay, so it's nice. Number 6 is very nice. And number 5 is very nice too. I feel like between the two, number 6 is the one that would be the most obviously me, like that I would obviously reach for, but number 5 is a little bit interesting and different for me. Both of them are interesting, but both of them are not something I would go and immediately pick up. Now, out of the ones we've tested, the one that really, and it's so funny because it's the one that I was the least kind of excited to try, that I'm the most blown away by, is Escapade Gourmande. See, now it almost has like a papery incensey, like it's paper, but incensey quality. There's something really sensual and mysterious about it. It's not just straight linear gourmand to me. I am really impressed by that one. And that's one that like right away, like my inclination in my head, it was, oh my God, I have to go look it up online, see how much it is, where I could buy it. You know, that was not my inclination for any of the other ones. So it doesn't mean I don't like them, but they're not immediate loves at first sniff. They're either just, they're really nice and I'm interested in trying them out for a few wears. I still do think I need to try out Escapade Gourmande for a few wears, but it's definitely the one that I'm the most excited to try. And it's the one that is, you know, likely to make it on my wish list. So there you have it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know down below if you've tried any of these fragrances, your thoughts on any of them. I would love to know. I would love to discuss in the comments down below. And as always, till we see each other again, take care of yourself. I'll see you very soon. Bye.